everybody, welcome back to Healing with Love. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's video is, I guess I will put this will be my first synchronicity story. This is also a follow-up to my last reading. If you haven't seen my last reading, which is the second wave of 2020 reading, I'll link it in the description box below. So, I received a message from my friend Shoshana, and she was asking me about the number 17. Today is the 17th, so this is actually, I wouldn't say no coincidence. I wasn't planning on doing this video today, but it just happened to coincide with the 17th. Anywho, so 17. I gave her the basic numerological interpretation of what the number 17 is. It's a very powerful number. It is 1, which is all about new beginnings and leadership. 7 is about spirituality, so a new beginning in spirituality. I like to call it the spiritual rebirth number. And since it's an 8, it's a power. It's a very powerful number. On its side, it's infinity. So this is almost a reminder that we are infinite. We have infinite power, in a sense. So a lot of people equate it to the twin flame number. 1, you know, the number 1 as in 2 coming into 1, and then spirituality coming into spiritual union. 2 of them together is very powerful, so 1, 7, 8. Anywho, so I just went about my day, and I received another message from her, and she mentioned that it represents the star card, and immediately I flashed back to my reading. And I remembered that there was a lot of stars that came through, but I didn't note it in the actual reading. And it was interesting, so I let it go. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. That's a nice coincidence. I guess there was a lot of stars in my reading. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And then my sister was making mac and cheese for my nephew, the elbow mac and cheese from Kraft, and she found a star with this geometric pattern in the center. It looks very similar to Lamat. So it's a star within a star, and which was very odd. You know, it's not unheard of that you would get a different shaped macaroni in a macaroni box that doesn't belong to it. They're all from the same plant, right? They all come from the same source. So, you know, it's interesting. The macaronis look like little moons, little crescent moons. But anyway. I was like, oh, wow, that's a synchronicity. No way. So then I kind of went back to my reading, and I noticed there was a lot of stars. And I'm hearing that song, I'm Seeing Stars by Borns. You're the missing puzzle piece that I've been trying to find. Some dreams really do come true. So I'm seeing anything is possible. Dreams coming true. And another song that I'm hearing is Prince. Baby, I'm a star. Might not know it now. I'm a star. Whoa. And so the star card, I actually brought out a few books to read the interpretation of what each book describes the star in a different way. So I wanted to just get a deeper understanding of the star. Now immediately I started thinking about all the different meanings of star for me. I have one of my best friends, her name is Star. I have a character in my Jacula book, my children's book. Her name is Star. And then I started thinking of other stars. So the North Star, which is your guiding light. It illuminates the night sky for you, right? The Blue Star Kachina, which is the Hopi prophecy, which I feel that is what is happening right now. So the Blue Star Kachina appears in the sky, creating a transformative change for the earth, a purification, which was very interesting because in the reading we did get this huge white butterfly, Whoa, the transformation. This huge white feather, which represents purification to me, purity. And look at all the stars in the background. I didn't notice that there was a huge, I did notice the Merkaba star, but I didn't notice that all the stars that were sparkling in the background. Sometimes we don't notice the stars, and all these stars have to shine together in order to illuminate the night sky. So it requires unity to illuminate the night sky. And the patterns, you could notice the patterns and visualizations. We are all stars reflecting back the universe back at us. We are guiding stars. And that was very fascinating that there was all those stars there. Then I noticed the Arakura card. Also, she's in space. Look at all those stars and the planets behind her. More stars. Then I noticed the Merlin card. She's got a huge star on her crown. So I'm seeing the soul star. So I'm also seeing the earth star, because here, this represents the earth star chakra to me. So I'm seeing the earth star and the soul star chakra, balancing or awakening of both. Before I get into the rest of the cards, I was seeing the sun, right? The sun is one of our greatest stars, but so is Sirius. So I'm seeing Sirius, planet Sirius, aligning with Egypt, and the star of Bethlehem popped up in my head. I was also thinking of astrology and astronomy, diving into the cosmos, the stars. I'm also seeing a celebrity, right? A star. But I'm also seeing the center of attention. You are the star. You are the star of your own life. Everybody else is just co-stars or extras or background. And the star card represents guidance, hope, light, illumination, and miracles. It also represents understanding, illumination, right? Understanding. And an interesting synchronicity was one of the songs that came through was "Know Your Enemy" by Rage Against the Machine. And after a deeper understanding of the song, you would think that it's about know who your enemy is, and it's him. It went deeper. Know your enemy. Understand your enemy. Empathy, compassion. Put yourself in their shoes. Know your enemy. So a lot of understanding coming through, a lot of crown chakra activity. And then I remembered I wrote a whole post about Lamont, because I found a huge star earring by the giving tree. And then today I got a notification about a friend that passed away a couple years ago, and I was in Maui, and I took a photo. I was on the beach and I took a photo of this like plastic star that washed up on the shore. So the message of star has been coming through for a lot. Illumination, understanding, the crown chakra. Then I was talking about this as the crown chakra and the crown chakra. The pentagon here. And stars. And then understanding. So definitely seeing the crown chakra awakening. And another interesting thing is, so we got this finances and career card, right? And look at, it's a mirror image of the star, like she's reaching, and there's all the little flowers around. I was just blown away, and I wanted to share the different meanings of the star. And so when we hit that crown chakra, it's almost like a karmic completion, like a crown explosion, right? Of information and knowledge just starts coming through and pouring through, and all this stuff starts coming through. A lot of sun activity. The sun is, it's a huge star. So we got a lot of star. I pulled out all my star cards that I know I have, and then I remembered this card also. She has a wand, and it's a star, and she's wearing a scarf, and it's got little flowers and little stars all over it. So it's almost like a shawl, so like a cloak. So I'm seeing a star cloak. Okay, so those were the notes that I was going to have for that. I'll put the songs in the description box below, so you can check those out. I was also hearing that song by Crazy Town. You're my starry-eyed surprise, sundown to sunrise. Okay, so let's just start. Immediately, I'm going to start with, well, we're going to look at this star here. So, oh wow. I have to pull this out. I literally just sent my friend a tiki post. A friend had gifted me a tiki 5 years ago, and I just found it in my storage. And on the top of the tiki, there's a big star, and it's got stars around it, just like this star card. So this star card is making a huge appearance. And I love that, you know, she's pouring, because she's got enough to pour. It's almost like it's endless amount of pouring. It doesn't, it's coming from magically, it's just coming magically from the ethers, right? And I love how it's creating this circular, almost exactly like that, like a vortex, stepping into a vortex, almost creating a portal, right? And she's overflowing. She's overflowing with abundance and faith and hope. And, you know, she's a shining star, lighting the way for others. And I love it. So here, it's very similar. This one, she looks very water. They're both very water. So I'm seeing Aquarius. I'm seeing Aquarius. And here is the spiral. So going inward and coming outward and going inward. And I always say that that's our level of understanding. We always go deeper. When we understand something, we come back out, see it from a higher perspective, and then we dive deeper. And it's almost like digging, the way that a hole is dug with a digging machine. It goes in and they pull it out, and then it goes deeper, and then they pull it out, and then it goes deeper. So diving deep till you get to the other side. And look at, she's also got that illuminated third eye and crown. And here, she's got the illuminated third eye and crown. So I'm definitely seeing a lot of illumination involving the third eye and the crown. A purification of the third eye and the crown. And then here we've got a gargoyle. And the gargoyles, they bring water. So I'm seeing a lot of water energy. Which is very fascinating to me. And what a gargoyle is, gargoyles are at the very top of a building, and they kind of get a higher viewpoint and vantage point of everything. So I'm definitely seeing a high vantage point, seeing things from a higher vantage point, from a satellite. I'm almost like, you know, I had a dream a long time ago that I was taken by somebody up to a satellite, and they were showing me all that I had created. And so it's very fascinating. It was a higher perspective of seeing things. And I love that this one looks like a shooting star. And I love that it's rainbow. So definitely seeing Kundalini energy awakening, that energy moving past the third eye to the crown, and enlightenment. So gargoyles channel water. This card offers new hope, understanding, optimism, renewal, clarity, and insight. The harmony of the subconscious and the conscious. An outpouring of feeling. So I'm seeing somebody pouring their feelings out. Pouring their emotions, pouring their feelings out. Having faith, no fear. Right? And then, for this particular one, it's about hope, peace of mind. You know, standing outside on a dark night, you gaze up at the stars and sense glimmers of wonder and hope. Even though you can't find concrete answers to life's many questions up there in the sky, you can't help but feel comforted and renewed. Such is the energy of the star card. It is not about actions or situations. It's simply about connecting to the part of you that is hopeful and serene. This force will bring light back into your life and infuse you with positivity. A lovely card. Okay? Then we got this lovely one. Which, this deck, I rarely ever use this deck. This was one of the first decks that I used for tarot. And for my own personal reasons, I haven't used it in a very long time. But I think it's time to bring it out again. And look at Good Fortune was holding placemat on there for the horseshoe. A figure, let me get this thing over here. A figure is shown rising silently from the depths of the sea in the delicate coruscating spiral of the star. Her hair flows around her, and a bright inner light shines in the coronet around her forehead, a sustained connection to the numinous. The star is the first of the heavenly bodies we meet on the path to the center, and by her light we know that the final stage has been reached. We have withstood the dark, distorting mirror of our shadow and the divine lightning. We now emerge, ready to unfurl our soul's wings. So, through the star we experience a vision of wholeness, a deep Gnostic understanding of eternity and renewal, embodied rather than merely perceived. This is the profound inner certainty that comes when we last find ourselves beyond the veil of illusion, with an ever-present connection to the mystic center. We now become a channel for divine energy to be made manifest on earth. We find ourselves drawing people and situations to us in ways that often appear miraculous. Our frame of reference is no longer the world, but the conjunction between our higher self and infinite source, which will sustain us through the last steps of this journey. Yes. See, she's coming out of the tunnel. So, the star is traditionally seen as the heavenly manifestation of the divine feminine in our lives, a light that leads us and others to a transcendent way of life, emerging from the dark sea of unknowing into the subtle, delicate illumination of the spirit. We now perceive ourselves as an integral part of the source. The star is our connection to the numinous on earth, filling us with hope and wonder, an eternal promise that all is well. So, absolutely, we are source. We are the Akashic records. We are the connection. We, as above, so below. We are it. We are everything. And so this is about fluidity and open-mindedness, resolving problems with ease, creative solutions, manifestation of dreams into physical reality, and miracles. And yeah, beautiful. And then finally, the lesson. Beautiful. Okay, so the star, this is all about, it's also connected to the strength card. So all about strength. Aquarius, the water carrier. I've been hearing the word carrier for a little bit. Its a symbol is the fish hook. Oh, that's interesting. Something else popped up about a fish hook recently. The higher heart for universal love. So the Hebrew letter of the star is Sadi, meaning the fish hook. It also takes the meaning of hope. On the tree of life, the star is placed on the 18th pathway between the spheres of Yesod and Neshach. Yesod is the sphere of magic and the moon, while Yesod stands for sensual passion and instinct. The star is therefore the result of both these aspects, bringing together the qualities of the sun and the moon to create a new earth. Beautiful. It does represent Aquarius. Sign of hope, yep. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I haven't already discussed within this star. So, hope and divine guidance are embodied by the stars. The central yellow star, according to the AE weight, is a symbol of Freemasonry called the flamboyant star, or seal of Solomon. I have been getting seal a lot as well. However, this talisman is usually shown with 6 rather than 8 points, so perhaps this was to be just one aspect of its meaning. The star may also represent Sirius, or Venus. And the maiden, a symbol of eternal youth and creative soul. She may be the Greek Aphrodite or the Egyptian deity Isis. Isis has been coming through for me since 2017 very strongly. Water symbolizes not only purification to me, but emotion and nourishment, fertility. So the historical star goddess and angels. The image of the maiden and star has altered little over the centuries. From its simplest form in the Visconti Sforza's tarots, a woman holding a star, to the more illustrative Rider-Waite image, to which is added a pool, tree, and bird. The star maiden herself may be Greek love and fertility goddess Aphrodite, the Roman Venus, who is often pictured with a dove. So doves as well. There was a dove card that had came through in my reading as well. So, if so, the star above her is Venus, the morning star. An alternative identity is the Egyptian Isis, queen of magic. So magic has been coming through as well. See the wand? And fertility, associated with the ibis bird. If this is so, the big star is her symbol. Sirius, also known as the star of Isis, fertility omen of the Nile. Legend has it that when Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, appeared, the Nile flooded, watering the crops growing on the silt bed of the delta. In some decks, the Star Maiden is an angel. The card also embodies faith, one of the lost virtues of the tarot that existed in early decks. The early faith cards of the 15th and 16th century show a female figure holding in one hand one cup and in the other hand a cross. In this way, perhaps, faith's cup became subsumed into the two vessels of the star, and her cross, symbol of religious guidance, went up to the heavens to become one with the 8 stars in the sky. So beautiful. So, and I just happen to have an astrology book here. So maybe this is discussing starseed energy, discovering your starseed roots. You know, a lot of people like to give themselves what is it called? Names. You know, they like to associate, like, I'm a starseed and I come from the stars. Well, you come from Earth. Yes, we have lived many various lives in the stars, but our current incarnation is of an earthly. We were born of Earth. And so when we only focus on the stars, you are losing that connection to Earth, that Earth star, right? So it's about realizing you come from Earth. You are a creature of Earth. Yes, your soul is from the stars. So we don't ever want to lose our connection to Earth. I don't know why I was guided to say that, but it was almost like very stern, like you are an earth seed. You were born of this earth. And yes, you have lifetimes in other star systems and star seeds, and you do have connections to the star systems and beings. And I'm also seeing a lot of like UFO activity, a lot of sacred geometry patterns, disclosure. I've been seeing disclosure. I'm seeing. So definitely a lot of third eye activity, of course. And good fortune coming, and deep understanding of things. Deep understanding. There is no separation. And I think that by giving ourselves labels, we are kind of like creating that separation. Whether this is via, you know, race or such as calling yourself a starseed. I think it just creates that separation. We're all humans, and we're all here having a human experience. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and we don't want to forget that. There is so much power on earth that and strength that we can harness, right? And I'm definitely seeing this karmic completion, the number 10, a new understanding of spiritual rebirth, or a lot of people having a spiritual awakening. This Lion's Gateway that just happened, you stepped into a new world, a new understanding, and I'm seeing a lot of abundance coming through as well. A lot of good fortune coming for those that are open to receive it. Okay, so I had to, I was literally in the middle of uploading the video to YouTube, and so I was creating my thumbnail for the video, and I came across an interpretation of the star, and it said that the star is also associated with the eagle and the peacock. And if you guys have been following my channel, my Instagram, Healing with Numbers, I reference peacocks a lot. They have been coming through a lot. But the eagle is what really blew me away. Because I always talk about eagles in my videos. They have a higher perspective, and last night I actually had a dream about an eagle, and the eagle and I were friends. I was feeding the eagle crackers. It was following me around. It was very curious about my life. So I'm seeing that as somebody, you know, watching you from afar, very curious about you. You know, the eagle is already at a higher perspective. So somebody from a higher perspective is watching you, in the sense, right? But what was also interesting, so I looked up the symbolism to the eagle, and it says the eagle, spirit animal, is an inspiring messenger with the ability to soar heights other birds merely dream of. The eagle is a powerful animal totem that offers lessons about looking closely at the most minute of details in order to see life from a broader perspective. If you guys have been listening, that's what I've been talking about this whole video, was seeing things from a higher perspective. And what's interesting, the star card, if you look at it, you know, she's got one foot in the water and one foot on land. I'm almost seeing mermaid energy, right? That ability to dive deep, but also stay grounded. That ability to be from, you know, the bird, the eagle can fly high, but also can come down to the ground and be grounded. So definitely the grounding energy is coming through strongly. And it says, allow your heart to guide you, and opportunities you never dreamed were possible will present themselves when you least expect it. Eagles have feet with 4 toes. 4 is a symbol for having a solid foundation and being grounded. Those who are guided by the eagle spirit animal are grounded. Even though the eagle can soar to great heights, they are still strongly connected to the earth. Among being grounded and connected to the earth, those guided by the eagle are also resilient and in the complete harmony with the spiritual aspects of their lives. Unafraid of the unknown, these seekers accept life's challenges with unshakable courage, determination, and confidence. And the eagle represents intuition, creativity, strength, courage, hope. But I also see it as, you know, vision. I also see it as freedom. Finally being free, flying high. Because when you're able to fly from a higher perspective, you are free. You're able to not be bound by the reality that you're seeing in front of you. You'll be able to see things from a higher perspective, which in turn creates new realities. And yeah, mermaid energy, Aquarius energy, just seeing such great energy. And I was just really excited about that dream and connecting the two. I really wanted to throw this in the video. So, okay, now back to the ending. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much. And that's it, guys. I will link whatever I have discussed in this video in the description box, and if you've missed anything, you can just click on that. And I appreciate you guys joining me on this little synchronicity story, and there will be more of these synchronicity stories to come. I got a journal filled with them, so thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Namaste, everybody.